A reading from the letter of St. Paul to the Ephesians. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother. This is the first commandment with a promise, that it may go well with you and that you may have a long life on earth. Fathers, do not provoke your children to anger, but bring them up with the training and instruction of the Lord. Slaves, be obedient to your human masters with fear and trembling and sincerity of heart as to Christ, not only when being watched as currying favor, but as slaves of Christ, doing the will of God from the heart, willingly serving the Lord and not men, knowing that each will be requited from the Lord for whatever good he does, whether he is slave or free. Masters, act in the same way towards them and stop bullying, knowing that both they and you have a master in heaven, and that with him there is no partiality. The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
The Lord is faithful in all his words.
The Lord is faithful in all his words.
Let all your works give you thanks, O Lord, and let your faithful ones bless you. Let them discourse of the glory of your kingdom and speak of your might. The Lord is faithful in all his words, making known to men your might and the glorious splendor of your kingdom. Your kingdom is a kingdom for all ages, and your dominion endures through all generations. The Lord is faithful in all his words. The Lord is faithful in all his words and holy in all his works. The Lord lifts up all who are falling and raises up all who are bowed down. The Lord is faithful in all his words.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Luke. Jesus passed through towns and villages, teaching as he went and making his way to Jerusalem. Someone asked him, "Lord, will only a few people be saved?" He answered them, "Strive to enter through the narrow gate. For many, I tell you, will attempt to enter, but will not be strong enough. After the master of the house has risen and locked the door, then you will stand outside, knocking and saying, 'Lord, open the door for us.' And he will say to you in reply, 'I do not know where you are from.' And you will say, 'We ate and drank in your company. You taught in our streets.' And he will say to you, 'I do not know where you are from. Depart from me, all you evildoers.' And there will be wailing and grinding of teeth when you see Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and all the prophets in the kingdom of God, and you yourselves cast out. And people will come from the east and the west, and from the north and the south, and will recline at table in the kingdom of God. For behold, some are last who will be first, and some are first who will be last." The Gospel of the Lord. Today's excerpt from the letter to the Ephesians can be challenging, particularly as it sanctions slavery. And yet, slavery was a reality in the world and had been for centuries and for thousands of years. One of my history books expressed it and explained it like this, is that the theory is that the lives of the vanquished that are taken in just wars belong to the victors. And then the history book comments by continuing, And history shows no record whatsoever of any war declared by the victors to be unjust. So you got them all. Slavery was a reality. It is not anymore. And so because social circumstances change, it is why church awareness changes also. And it's why Pope John, in calling the Second Vatican Council, wanted aggiornamento, updating, to make sure that the church responded to the needs of the times. And that's why the pastoral constitution of the church in the modern world, Gaudium et Spes, insisted we must be able to interpret the signs of the times, to be able to make a proper response to the context that we find ourselves in socially and politically and in throughout the world. And so here we have a very interesting set of promises, though, or commands, I should say, because what it suggests today is that there is an interrelationship of responsibility that goes in both directions with relationships. So, children, honor your father and mother. Okay, yes, but fathers, do not provoke your children to anger. Raise them properly, not beating them. Slaves, do what you're supposed to do. Masters, no bullying. Who do you think you are? Mutuality of relationship. That's important for us in our country as well. We need to understand the depth of mutuality that we should have between president and vice president, between senators and representatives, governors and lieutenant governors, attorneys general, right down to mayors and county commissions and city councils. All of them have a responsibility of faithfulness in executing what is given to them in their positions. We have a responsibility, on the other hand, both to understand what the laws are, to understand what the issues are, and to be proper voters. Hard, hard, hard. But the gospel, the first reading today, assures us that there needs to be mutuality of responsibility in relationships, political as well as social, familial, wherever it happens to be. So today we can ask the Lord to strengthen our own desire. We've got 1 week left to try to the best of our ability sort out what the issues are and make a choice for voting. It's not easy, but it is our responsibility. If we want good government, we have to be responsible citizens. Let us stand and pray.